Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden, and I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Jelly Legs from Amber Davis. Now, as you saw on the beginning screen, it's a neat tangle. And you could call it a ribbon tangle or a border tangle because it kind of goes in a line. I sometimes would call them line tangles because you could use this along, say, a string line if you wanted to, or you could have them use it multiples of it and have it cascade down. Lots of different uses for this. So it starts off with a kind of a curved line. And then let's see, there are a couple other ones that we've done this, and they're kind of all similar, but just varying degrees of how far out do you go and how many times over. But this is, this is a nice, unique take on that. So then the second curve line, we want to create these little pockets. So I'm going to start here, and just kind of weave back and forth as you wish. And even if you get some thin ones, like I end up with some thin ones, it still ends up looking okay. Then, and it's not going to matter which direction that you start. And maybe as a suggestion, if you have something that's particularly thin or something that because here's what we're going to do. And like I said, it doesn't matter which side you start on. Actually, I'm going to start on this side. We're going to draw a little curved line, kind of sort of in the middle-ish, and then fill that in. But we're going to alternate those on either side. So if there's, after you've done a couple and you're like, oh, okay, I know how this goes, and so therefore, it's kind of like a course correction. Because if there's a place where you're like, oh, I know I need to put this on this side, then I would start there and then work your way back, just as a thought, versus just starting at the top and then come what may. So that sometimes that just helps knowing what you have coming up. And so we're just putting these kind of shallow curved lines, filling them in like so. Then we're going to, and I was looking at Amber's step out, and we're going to add a curve line on top of this. And some of them were, maybe a little bit, maybe it's not even symmetrical. I'm going to put a link to, I don't remember if it was on. If she has a separate blog, I'll put that link also in the for more inspiration, just so that way you can see. Because I think it's cool to make sure to go look at what the originator of the tangle did, as well as what I end up doing. And because we all do our own work, so it's a matter. That's why I do my own step outs, because it also helps you get to know the tangle too. All right, and then that's pretty much it. Isn't that cute? And in the spirit of keeping this as a quickie, I put my pencil right where I could find it. So what do? I'm looking somewhere else for it because I don't normally do that. All right, so here's a shading idea, and that is in the bottom corner of these. Just put a little graphite. You can always add more if you need to. But this is one way to do it. And where's my other? Okay, we'll use this one. And then this one I have. If they ever get jammed up, like this one is verging. I mean, sometimes it's like, oh, I don't mind something that thick, but it's jamming up. But you can stick a paper clip in the end or a toothpick and push that little tip out. I mean, it's not perfect, but sometimes I leave the toothpick or whatever inside just to add a little strength, just to get a little bit more life out of it. I know I was asked, I might have been on a call, at what point do you know, I think it was on a shading class, at what point do you know you should throw your tortillon away? And I was like, well, when it starts unraveling really bad, I usually will tape them though, because they usually stay good for a while. All right. There we are. And just adding that little bit of graphite and, bringing it up. And as I said, you can even bring it up like this one. I put this one on the opposite side of this little bauble, or whatever you want to call it. But it just, how simple and how cool. And, I love people like Amber that come up with these things. It's just so amazing. Just so amazing. All right, so that is that. And so you can use it singularly. So I could see, like, if you wanted to put it like as a border across this, or like I said, you could do multiple. Oh, let me back up a little bit. So I did this on a Renaissance tile, the tan tile, and added also a little bit of the white charcoal pencil at the top. So at the opposite end. Oh yeah, there, you just can't see it because sometimes when you spread the charcoal out with the tortillon, sometimes it just kind of disappears. And so I'm like, why does that look like I didn't do anything there? But you see, some of them are a little bit wonky. Some of them are thin. Actually, some of them are just perfect and look like spaceships. That was one of my first thoughts with this. But anyway, it's just, but then at the same time, it kind of has this neat kind of, organic, plant look to it. I don't know. It's just a really, really neat tangle, and nice to have a couple of these that can just be like streamers, just to add. And you know what? I think that's why I called bead lines an accent tangle, and I think I will put this in that category also, because you could use it just as a little something to accent, and that's, I don't know. It's just nice. Anyway. I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoyed the tangle. If you did, would love to have a thumbs up. Feel free to share if you have people that like to tangle, or see you tangle and think that it's really cool, and you can just say, hey, you too can do this. It doesn't take any art skill whatsoever. And if you like it enough to see more and want to subscribe, I would love that. After you hit the subscription button, make sure you hit the bell next to it, so that way you can tell YouTube how you want to be notified, if you want to be notified at all. And as I mentioned in the description section, are links to the step outs, as well as it's going to be either Tangle Patterns or Tangle Patterns and Amber's blog. I'll have to see which it is, but check that out for more inspiration. As well as below that are ways to connect with me if you wish. I do a combination of paid and free classes, and I do keep them posted for the most part. If I'm being good and on top of things on my website. There are also ways to follow. So like I do post them on Eventbrite and Meetup. So if you're there's information there. So if it's something that you either already belong to or don't mind, I mean, they're free to to be able to follow there. But that way, then you see when things are posted. So anyway, with that, I hope you enjoyed. I thank you for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.